Hey guys, good morning, good morning. Good morning, how are y'all doing today? Sorry, I have like a little allergies going on. My throat's kind of like raspy, so forgive me on that one. We're going to kind of quick review-ish some domain and range, and then we're going to go ahead here and do some quick review of linear inequalities, a system of inequalities, graphing them, and then we're going to go to chapter 7 too. Okay, so quick review. You should have an assignment today on Alex. We're going to get busy on that one as soon as possible. Let's go review real quick, getting ready for our exam / getting ready for a benchmark for, it's about in a month right now. It's approximately a month right now, okay? So domain, range. When I look at my domain, guys, I'm basically looking for my x values, right? And it's between the low number and a high number, okay? And I usually do this. But if I look at this one goes on forever in that direction. So I'm really not going to have a low number. So I'm going to have maybe like infinity, but in the negative direction. So I'm going to go ahead and put this like this, and in my head I'm thinking this right there. All right, I'm already thinking that. What's my highest number? It's all the way to what? 0? Again, I'm looking at my x values. See, all this is having a graph all the way to here. You'll never see this as an answer. You're just going to really see this. Well, just forget this one part. It's like shaded in, right? You see, that's not shaded, and that's going to be shaded. So it's going to be equal to it. So you're saying here, any x value less than or equal to 0. This would be your answer right there. Does it go forever in the infinity direction? Yes, it does. But this is what they're going to go ahead and just put as your answer choice, okay? So any x value less than or equal to 0. That's it. Now range. Range is the same idea. We're going to go to the y values, and I'm always going to go like this, okay? Now, this one's going to be from the lowest value, always lowest, to highest or greatest, least to greatest. I should put greatest, not highest. So the least it would go all the way down will be with 0, right? Looking at the graph now. It's starting here, and it goes up, goes up, goes up. But here it goes up forever, and it keeps on going up forever and ever and ever. So we say the highest value, it goes up to here is infinity. Now, does it come down and reach to 0? Yes. Now, take a few seconds. What's your final answer here? I'm going to tell you this much. They won't give you all of it. Any y value greater than or equal to 0. Okay, you see how I wrote it here? I'm saying it's greater than. Here it's saying 0, right? Is what? The smallest it'll be compared to 1. Okay, that is correct. I'll probably write it like this. Means the same thing. Okay, let's look at here domain. Sorry guys. I'm going to go from x values from the least to your greatest. Please just put these symbols right here. The least values. Now I'm looking for my x values. I'm going to get the x from here to here, right? So my graph happens within this region. From where does that happen? From 0, and it's included, all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 5. Not included, do not shade it in. Range. The least value to the greatest value. And we're talking about the y's. And I'm just going to put these symbols right there like that. Now, my y's, I'm looking from here all the way to here. I'm going to say it stops there if you all don't mind. So my graph really is in this area. From where to where? From 0. And it's shaded in all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not included. So leave it like that. Let's go for domain here. X values again, from my least value to my greatest value. I'm just going to put these inequality symbol right there, and it's going to be from 0 all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4. Both of them are included, so we'll do that. Range, I'm going to go y values, and it's going to be here. Again, they're both included, you can just tell. And it goes from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From 0 to 6. All right. Hopefully you got that. Take a break there. Okay, so I jumped to chapter 6 now, and hold on real quick. Okay, guys, here we go. Regarding this real quick, I'm going to go ahead and solve this inequality, okay, by graphing it. So I'm basically going to want to graph it and have this as my answer. The first one's pretty easy. The first one is set up already in the form of y equals mx plus b, so I can graph it like that. This will be my m, this is my b. So I'm going to go down to 3. 1, 2, 3, put my first point there. I'm going to do a slope of 2, so I'll go up 2 over 1. Draw my dotted line, dotted, or I'll put dashed. Makes it a bit easier to draw. When it comes to that part right there, if you look at this, this is going to be above. It says y's are greater. I'm going to show you this way. Okay. So now that it's shaded on that side, let's approach the second one. For this one here, I guess I'll work it out a little further over here. So that one, if you look at it, is 2x minus y is greater than or equal to a 1. Now, what's wrong with this? It's not y equals 1. It's not in the y isolation, right? Side by itself. I don't know if that makes sense. The y is basically not by itself. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to minus 2x to isolate my variable y, okay? Now I have a negative y is greater than or equal negative 2x minus or plus 1. Now, I can't have a negative 1, so I'm going to divide by a negative 1, divide by a negative 1, divide by a negative 1. This right here gives me a positive y. Since I divided by a negative, guys, this thing switches over. Okay, make sure you know that thing switches over because I divided by a negative. This becomes a positive 2x, this becomes a negative 1. So then from there, I graph this one out. This will be my m, this is my b. I'll go down 1. That's that right here. Check. I'm going to rise up 2. 1, 2, over 1. Now, if you look at this one right here, it says y's are less than, and it's a solid line. So I'm going to have a solid line. If you look at this one, this slope is 2, this slope is 2. So they really should run parallel to each other, same slope. Alright, I think I kind of went parallelish until right here. This one now says shade below. Y's are less than. So the y values are less than on this side. So I would shade it down like this. So you can say my answer choice or my answers are right in this area. Sheet here, guys. Make sure you remember. Key thing, you cannot forget that when you divide by a negative, the inequality switch. Make sure you know that. When you divide by that negative, the inequality switch. Why did it switch? Again, because I divided by a negative. All right? Okay, now we're going to jump into section 7.2. Again, we've done the section already, so it's a quick review. Dividing exponents. Okay, so this is way too easy right here, but the rule is right here. If you're dividing powers, basically a power by a power, right? Quotient means divide. If you're dividing powers, you're going to have the top exponent minus the bottom exponent, as long as you have the same base. Okay, and that's it. This is given to you in your reference material for the algebra test, okay? Let's look at this one real quick. I'll just kind of look and show you what they're doing. So when you have this right here divided by this, you basically have two kind of problems. Basically, you can group all the similar bases together. So the g's, I'll look at them together by themselves. The h is 3 minus 1, h 5 minus 2. This one, 3 minus 1 gives you 2. This one, 5 minus 2 gives you 3. Put them back together. That's it. Going once, going twice. You okay with that one? Not too bad, right? I'll do this one real quick, real fast in my head. So 7 minus 5 is K2. 10 minus 3 and 7. These cancel out. Here's my answer. That's how easy it is, okay? Moving on. This is a quick review, guys. You do have an assignment on this. Now, this is a power, right, of a quotient. Basically, there's your quotient inside, and you have a power of it. Now, it was like last time, if you remember the other one, we had like a to the m, and then we had an n on the outside. What this one was equal to a to the m times n. Okay, does this one have a power? Yes, it does have a power of 1. So what did you do with these two? You multiply them and you got n. This one has a power of 1. You multiply this one times this one gives you that. And that's basically what they're showing you here, okay? So you multiply the powers again. Same rules here, same everything. So you had a 1 here. 2 times that 1 gives me what? This part, check. 2 times that 3 gives me 6 there. Okay, they're doing it here. 3 squared is 9, so there's this part. Then this one over here, 2 times that 1 gives me what? 2. So what I have here, slash give me 49. So there's your final answer. Pretty easy, not too bad. I think I can do, I'll do C real quick, 2C. So everything has a power in here of 1 if you don't see it. So I multiply 2 times that 1 right there, so I'd have 2 squared. Then I have y to the 4th. You should know this already, it's a quick review. Then I multiply this one times this one, it becomes 3 squared. And then we have z to the 6. Okay, that's a good answer for your variables. That's not a good answer for your constants. These numbers over here in the front are these x coefficients. So this would become 4 ninths, right? Yeah, and then we still have y to the 4th and z to the 6. That's your final answer. Pause it, rewind it, so you can do it again. So I'm going to ask you this part real quick. Please make sure you know this. Anything raised to the 0 is 1. Make sure you know that. Anything raised to the 0. So here's the 0 property. Anything a raised to the 0 is 1. Look at this whole thing here. Raised to the 0, 1. Okay? Only that y is to the 0, so that one goes to what? 1. So the y's basically disappear. And then you have x, what? Top, bottom, right? 5 minus 3, 2. Okay. Next thing is over here. What if you have a negative exponent? Well, then you need to throw it to the other side of the fraction bar. What do you mean, sir? So right here. This is equal to this. And how, if you look at this real quick, you don't mind, I'm going to have c to the negative third over 1. Okay? So everything, if I give you x, that's over 1 already. If I want it to be the same thing but with a negative exponent, then it's going to be this. So on the other side. You see that? Those two things are the same. Very weird, but yeah. If it goes on the other side of the fraction thing, then it has that inequality or that power sign change. Inequality. That power thing changes. So if I were to have, say, x to the negative 7 down here, then this would be x to the 7th up here. You got it? It would look like that, but like that. Now, this situation, we have c to the negative 3. If you think about it, that's over 1. For it to be positive, I'm going to throw it to the top and the bottom. And there it is. Okay? Flip it over, and the inequality sign changes. Inequality, I don't know why I'm saying that. The exponent sign changed. I don't know why I say inequality. Okay, so there it is. Moving on, we'll do one of these last practice problems. Oops. Okay, so this one says, hey, I do not have negative exponents. So that one I'm going to throw to the bottom. This one I'm going to throw to the top. Okay, that's it. Really simple, really easy. So final answer, you see the end of the -5 would be on the bottom half of the fraction bar as a positive. Check. This one as a negative on the bottom would come to the top as a positive. That p to the 4th was already positive, so it stayed on top. Pretty easy, right? So let's look at the way we approach this one. So this way we approach here is basically the fractions. Simplify the fraction. You see, that's a fraction, 1/4. There it is in my answer. Slash, I'm going to put the 1 here, that on the bottom, right? Now the r's, look at the r's. The top one minus the bottom one. There it is, the top one minus the bottom one. Gives you a -5, right? The t's, the top one minus the bottom one. The top one minus the bottom one. You see that? This one's negative. I want to tell you this much, there's nothing to mess around with that one, so I just throw that one into the top. And there it is in the top. You see that? Now, when you do this part right here, this is basically a fraction, and like this, a fraction continues. If you want to stay where it's at, then the value, or sorry, the positive or negative sign of the exponent stays. If you want it to switch, throw it to the other side. Since these are negative, I'm going to throw those to the denominator. They will come down, and they will come down with a positive, as a positive. That one stays as a positive up there, so I'm going to leave it up there. And then I want all my exponents to be positive. That's it. I can do one for you here. Which one that's ugly? Usually the further you go, the more difficult they get. So let me just come out here and throw this one in here. I'll do that one real fast. So I'll do this much. In my answer, I already have a 1/5. That 5/25 or 5/25 simplifies down to that. I'm going to tell you that much. The j's, I'm going to go with the top one. Okay. Well, there's nothing to work with. Oh, okay. Well, that's just, I'll just go and do this. Put it all over like this, if you don't mind, over 1. So you can say I have the 5 on top and the 25 on the bottom. Okay. The k's, I'm going to have k. We're going to go with 2 minus a -4. Top one minus the bottom one. The top one here, and -6 minus a -2. So this part right here, I'm going to throw that to my final answer. I'm going to have j to the 3rd on the bottom, because on top of this fraction is negative. I want it to be positive, so I throw it to the other side of the denominator, or the other side of the fraction to the denominator. This k, okay, I'm going to have, looking at the k only, I'm going to have this becomes a 6. So guess where it stays? On the, I'm looking at it like this. This one stays like that because 2 plus 4, 6. This one over here becomes a plus here, becomes m to the -4. So that one I don't like it there, so I'm going to throw it to the other side down here. So it becomes m to the 4. And there it goes. That's not my answer. If I get rid of this one, then yes, that's my answer. Okay, I'm going to stop there. You do have an assignment over this stuff. If you already feel that you know these things, boom, you should jump. Once you see this stuff, okay, let me jump straight into my assignment. Be safe, God bless, guys. You do have an assignment out.